How on a day, my obunglicious people? I welcome on according to that time, or depending on where on a day they're listening to me right now, my people. There is this trend of things that is happening in our country today. I say make my fans and my subscribers all over the world follow Touchlight and see how this thing they happen. My people, I know say, there has been a very serious political battle in the country where we deal with Nigeria. Now here say the other day, the former president of Nigeria, the man they call Ibb'S, yes, it's a popular name they gave him when he was the president of Nigeria. That is General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, IBB, popularly known as IBB. IBB came up with a book called The Journey to Service, or The Journey of Service. And that book is so powerful. And seriously, my people, the book has changed the narrative in Nigeria. Serious narrative in Nigeria. And one of the things that made people so surprised on that day is Babangida is being seen as a very bad man who did a lot to this country. But in fact, if you look at it very well, look at it, he was the most successful military president of Nigeria, even though he was not the longest serving military president of Nigeria, because Gowon was the longest serving military president of Nigeria, because Gowon served for 9 years while Babangida served for 8 years. But even though he wasn't the longest, but he was the most successful, and he was the person that developed Nigeria more. He built Nigeria from 1985 to 1992 with so many developmental structures. Like, let me just pick some. There are so many things about Babangida. I'm not trying to just come to praise Babangida, but I want to, looking at the book he launched and looking at the implication of this book at our own time and see how the thing go really shape this country. Babangida, the first thing we saw is the abrogation of the Public Officers Protection Against False Accusation Decree number 4. He came and abrogated that decree number 4 that the military always used to assassinate people. Okay, he was at the establishment of the Nigerian National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. This NDLE that we are seeing today, that they are catching guys and regulating this this thing. It is NDLE was established by Babangida. He also established the Nigerian Agricultural Land Development Authority. Now that Babangida established that, he also established the People's Bank of Nigeria, PBN. He established the National Board of Community Banks. It was his time that we started having community banks, supervised by the commercial banks and the central banks of Nigeria. Establishment of National Directorate of Employment, NDE, which did a lot of things. If you read the intention of NDE, you know that this is that in the parastatal is meant to empower the youth and empower the young graduates, seek grants from government and give them to start businesses, even though they are not doing the work. Establishment of Better Life Program for rural women. That was what Mayam Babangida did. If you can remember that beautiful woman, his wife, Miriam Babangida or Maram Babangida, I don't know how they call it, but that woman did very well with Better Life Program. A lot of women were empowered at that time. Old women, young women, widows were, benefited a lot from the Better Life Program of Nigeria. You can see it. After the Better Life, Abacha's wife came with the Family Support Program, but yeah, Babangida's wife was Better Life Program. Okay, establishment of the Raw Material Research Council, establishment of the Federal Road Safety Commission. It was during his time that the Federal Road Safety Commission was established. Establishment of a Federal Road Safety Commission, yes. Establishment of National Productivity Center. Establishment of National Economic Restructure Fund. National Economic Reconstruction Fund. Establishment of the National Political Bureau. Establishment of the Directorate of Food, Roads, and Rural Infrastructure, DIFRI. If you can remember the DIFRI of those days, even though when NAFDAC came, NAFDAC took over the work of DIFRI. But DIFRI was doing very well and people were, being saved through the works of DIFRI at that time. I can still remember DIFRI as a young child in secondary school those days. I can still remember DIFRI. Okay, establishment of the Center for Democratic Studies, Federal Urban Mass Transit Program was established by him. Introduction of Economic Diplomacy. Introduction of Structural Adjustment Program, SAP. Oh, this one really caused wahala for this country. SAP, during the time, SAP was like an austerity measure of Shehu Shagari that nearly by people. But SAP actually did some things, even though many people didn't benefit from SAP. Introduction of civil service reform, yes. Creation of new local government system. Creation of 136 local government councils in
local government councils, creation of export processing zones, creation of the presidency, yeah, creation of 11 states, introduction of political transition program, introduction of primary health care, introduction of technical aid corps, introduction of deregulation of finance and money markets, introduction of debit conversion program, introduction of gifted children program. Yes, those schools, gifted schools. Yes, it was his time. Gifted schools, all these federal schools, gifted schools that were given all those. If you take, take common entrance and you scored very high, they send you to the gifted school. Or in a school, if your school recommends you, go to gifted school so that you can be, trained very well. Okay, introduction of nomadic education program, introduction of national orientation movement, introduction of private broadcasting, gradual movement to Abuja. He was the one that took us to Abuja. Everybody knows that. He built Aso Rock and took us to Abuja as the capital city of the country. Establishment of National Electoral Commission, NEC. Before his time, it used to be NECON. It used to be NECON or so. I think NECON or yeah. He was the one that introduced NEC, National Electoral Commission. Yes, it was him. Establishment of the Nigerian Export Production Council, NEP. Establishment of privatization program. Establishment of the Technical Committee on Privatization and Commercialization, TCTC. Creation of two political parties, SDP and NARC. That was the bomb at that time. The two parties did well. That was where MKO Abiola and Tofa, contested. Where the SDP was so popular, NARC. I know my father was a member of NRC, yes. My father was a leader or an executive of NRC like that time, yes. My father was I can still remember that very, very well. I was not a young guy at that time. I don't grow up. My people no be smarty though. Person no be small picking again. Creation of two political parties, SDP and NRC, which really cost a lot, yes, because if you are not here, you are here, and a lot of people were quarreling and fighting within two before the people now said, okay, let's have many, so that people who don't benefit here or who don't see their listing here can go to another place. Establishment of the Agricultural Development Program, ADP. Establishment of National Guard. Establishment of Nigerian Food Security and Storage Scheme. Establishment of National Small Farmers Credit Programs. Establishment of Food Market Information Dissemination Service. Establishment of Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation. This one that regulates through the central bank, regulates the commercial banks. National Deposit Insurance. Yeah. Establishment of Nigeria Export Import Banks, NEXIM. Establishment of the Federal Environment Protection Agency, Federal Environment Protection Agency. Establishment of the National Planning Commission. Establishment of the National Women's Commission. Establishment of the Crop Monitoring and Early Warning System. Establishment of the Urban Development Bank. Normalization of the relations with Israel. Enactment of oil prospecting acreages of Nigerian oil companies. Enactment of the copyright law. Establishment of the Copyright Council. Movement of the presidency to Abuja, yes, we say that the new capital. Establishment of the National Defense and Security Defense Council, NDSC. Introduction of the Transition Council, yeah. So my people, I know that many people like me may not like to listen to all this because these are only the good things he did. I don't want to stand here to talk about the bad things he did because he did a lot. He killed a lot of people. The guy buyed a lot of people. And they tell you, even his buying people affected people like us and affected our relations. A lot of people were buyed during his time. And this Abiola issue that we are saying right now that is like nothing also cost a lot of people when they were rushing back from Lagos to the east. A lot of people also lost their life, lost their properties and everything. Because I can still remember also Babangida. You remember that Babangida race, also Babangida, when people were running. During that time, he cancelled the election. People thought that a lot of things are going to happen. So he did also a lot of evil. That's why they call him the evil genius, actually. But I think one thing that is paramount and one thing that is good in this thing is that he has come out to apologize to Nigeria and has brought out some revelations of the things that have kept this country stagnant for years. I think one of the things he said that have brought in change to the mindset of people, and we also help Nigeria to move forward, is by declaring Abiola as the winner
of the 1993 election. That is true. He declared Abiola as the winner of the 1993 election. Abiola won that election, and that is true. Abiola won that election. So he declared Abiola the winner. Doing it now. Though at that time he didn't do it, he cancelled the election, annulled the election through the help of the Association for Better Nigeria, headed by Aton Zeribe and others at that time. Yes, he cancelled the election, but right now, in this book launch, he has said that Abiola actually won. And that's why many people are calling on the federal government to declare Abiola the winner, or to declare Abiola a past president and put his portrait at the Aso Rock Villa. So that is what people are asking for right now. So that's one of the things that he said. At least it has cooled down, because a lot of people have been in that pain of how can this man, even though Abiola is late, but he's going to relieve a lot of things, especially the family, to show that their father was not lying. Their father was not a troublemaker, because they declared him a troublemaker and so many other things, that he was trying to raise the polity in Nigeria by all those things. But now it is true that what Abiola was fighting for, what the supporters Abiola was fighting for, is true. Even Femi Falana has come out to say that he was embarrassed. A lot of people were detained. He was embarrassed and detained unlawfully because he supported Abiola, that Abiola won the election. Even though the Babangida has come to tell Nigerians that he did it in order to save the life of Abiola, not to be assassinated, and so many other things. Whatever is his reason is not good enough right now. It's flimsy, because what you should have done, as you know he won the election, declare him the president and leave. You understand? So if you feel that there are army officers who are interested to assassinate somebody, as a president and as a lover of Nigeria, what you should have done is to retire those ones. Retire them and take them out of the army, you understand, and elevate those ones that you know that have the people's interest in their heart, elevate them and let them work with Abiola, and you leave. If you actually know, because at that time, Babangida will not tell us that he has a good intention. No, we know the military at that time that they have ulterior motive. That is it. He can't tell us that now because it's a past. That's why. But I salute his courage of coming out to apologize to Nigerians, to tell Nigerians that what happened that time was not intentional. Even if it is intentional and he comes out to tell us it's not intentional, it shows that he has had a remorse, and it shows that he has discovered that what happened, what he did was bad. Not every Nigerian, not every ex-military officer, like most of them that are there that day, not all of them will have the mind to come out and tell Nigerians sorry and declare it as it is. That's one of the things Babangida said that is helping in healing and shaping this country right now. The second thing also he said that's very important, that have caused a lot of problem in this country, that Babangida also said in that book launch, is that the 1966 coup was not an Igbo coup. It has been a long-lasting thing that it's not an Igbo coup. But I want to tell you that it was not Babangida that said it first. Somebody else has said it before. But people didn't believe it. People didn't listen to it. But I want you to listen to this man. Just listen to this man. It's just a clip of a few seconds. Then you will see that somebody has said exactly what Babangida said. To tell you, to buttress the point and tell you that what Babangida said is true. It's not actually Igbo coup, but it was because the people were now using the Ibb'S as a scapegoat in order to achieve what they want. The two ethnic groups in Nigeria had joined up together for a long time now, oppressing those people from the southeast, terming that in Zogu's coup as Igbo coup. Listen to this man and enjoy. Then I will come back, we finish.
The young officers had within Ibb'S, Yorubas, and Hausas. The way the Nigerian army was structured, you could not escape a preponderance of Igbo officers. And these were at the middle level because they were essentially majors. By then I was a lieutenant colonel, so I wasn't part of it. I was then commanding a battalion in Kano. The coup ostensibly, because I've later found out, that the whole aim of the coup was to halt this apparent drift in Nigeria. But significantly, you know what they wanted to do? To create a presidential commission of army officers as a safeguard, the people who would guard the nation, and hand over government to Chief Obafemi Awolowo. The idea was to release him from prison, make him prime minister, and in the hope that Nigeria would become a better place. That is actually how.
So it was really the Yorubas and their leader that were going to benefit.
Oh, absolutely.
From the coup, not the insinuation that it was an Igbo coup.
No, certainly not.
Okay.
Certainly.
Your Excellency, we have
And not only that, and I think because a lot of things have been said about this. Yes. Who actually halted the coup? Aguiyi Ironsi in Lagos, an Igbo. Emeka Odumegwu Ojukwu in Kano, an Igbo. The Igbos halted the coup. How can it be at the same time an Igbo coup halted by Igbos? There's something odd about that.
So my people, now don't see them, I don't hear them from another top military officer of that time, another old soldier, though late now. That is a Lieutenant Colonel Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu, but before he died was raised to the position of Major General Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu during Obasanjo time. You know, raised to the point of the rank of Major General Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu when Obasanjo was able to, pardon and do all those who fight in the Biafran war. So this is what he has to say, because he was a lieutenant colonel at that time. Lieutenant Colonel Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu, commanding a battalion in Kano when this coup took place. Chukwu Makaduna Nzogun, like Babangida will tell you, is more of an Chukwu Makaduna Nzogun Babangida will say he's more of a Hausa than an Igbo, because he speaks Hausa fluently, bred and brought up in Hausa. He doesn't even know much people about his village. He doesn't speak Igbo well. He speaks Hausa fluently, and everybody he knows, influential men he knows, and the people, all his cohorts and associates at that time were Hausa. So he couldn't have reasoned against the Hausa, but he's somebody that is a true statesman. He's a man that loves Nigeria, and actually they wanted to put things right. Release Awolowo, give him the president, give him the prime minister, and then that was the then premier of the Western region, then who was in prison at that time. Give him the prime minister, and then have a presidential advisory council of the army that will be protecting the democracy of the nation. Those people had good intention for this country. They are better than the people we have now. They were better than the present politicians. They were better than the present military. They were better than the present leaders. They were better than everything. But only that their intentions were misunderstood and miscalculated. Because it's a coup, people must die. That was why it's involved. But those who are sent to the east and sent to the west failed in executing. Like they failed because people like Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu was in Kano, a very strong British trained soldier, a very strong man. Okay, Chukwuma Nzogun was British trained, but Ojukwu was British, studied in Britain, but an Nigerian army. They were trained in the army. Very strong soldier, could not allow the coup to take place in Kano. That was why they failed very well in the north. But Chukwu Makaduna Nzogun was the one that executed so many people that were executed in the north, because he knows the tricks. He was actually a British trained soldier. He used what he had that these people don't have to win it. So those who were sent to the west were halted by Aguiyi Ironsi, and also those who were sent to the east could not even kill a bird. You know, they couldn't. So that's why people now saw, because not many people in the east, they now said it must have been centered. But the first people that were killed in that coup, even in Lagos, when it started, was an Igbo man, a lieutenant colonel, who wanted to stop it, was executed before they carried it on. So my people, no be smart. I said, let me just bring this. A lot of things are happening. A lot of people are having an opinion about Babangida. I thank God I am looking for that book so that we can digest it. This country must move forward, you understand? And all these things put together, because people have halted the progress of these Eastern people for a long time just because of that coup. But now it is gone. People also have said so many things about the June 12th election without knowing, but the real person that canceled, they annulled the election, who was the president, the military president that time, has come out categorically to tell us that Abiola won. That is the truth that have been hidden for years now. Fine, the truth has come out. And I support also that Abiola should be declared a past president, even though it's going to be a posthumous declaration. My people, now so the gist reach you, I say make a touchlight and with on. I know that Put hands together. We are all eyes are now on the presidency to see what they will make out of this Babangida's book. Whether they will throw it under the carpet, after all, it's somebody's book, or whether they would use it as a developmental issue in this country. If you like and share this video, if you have not subscribed to our channel, please try to subscribe. If this is your first time of joining us, I say welcome. May God bless you. I pray for you. May everything where you do work out for you in Jesus' name. Make you have a nice day. Bye.